what is the real essence of life? And specifically into individuals, what is the real essence of my life? I begin by throwing a thought your way. In the course of my dealings and relating and leading as a pastor and relating with people, there's a question that sometimes you throw into people and they get shocked and surprised. When you ask a man, you are 21, you are 25, you are 30, you are 40, you are married, you have children, you have a job, you are through with school. Can you define your life in one sentence? Just, a professional, a mother, a father, a businessman. Can you explain your life in one sentence? What is your life? And you'll be surprised. There are people who've lived that long, achieved such as would be considered by those who live outside their walls as success. That when you interrogate them and ask them, how would you want your life to be defined? What is your life? What have you lived? If your life was to be written into a textbook, what would be the title? What subject are you? What is your life in one sentence? Ladies and gentlemen, you'll be surprised that most people cannot answer that question. And the reason is very simple. This question: what is the real essence of life? You and me know that acquirement, achievements, attainments does not substitute the essence of your life. The more you buy things, the more you acquire positions, the more you make steps to fill that vacuum, the more lonely, disappointed you are. You even question why it had to cost you that much. Because unless you answer the question of what is my life, you cannot attract what you need to fulfill that life. The Bible says in the book of Psalms 139, verses 15, 16, and 17. I want you to think with me, because I'll be coming down and pick people randomly and ask that question. What would you define your life as in one sentence? Jesus asked his disciples, whom do men say that I am? And there were a lot of perceptions that were not pegged on true information. Some say, in fact, the psalm had no specific personality. Have you ever heard this statement? People are saying. They were in that condition. Some say you are Elijah. Some say you are Jeremiah. Some say you are John the Baptist. But others were blunt. They say you are one of the prophets. He turned to them, those that had walked with him, those that had drunk from him, and he asked them, but who do you say I am? What are you following? What are you learning from me? Who am I to you? Because you can only follow what you subscribe to from understanding. And the answer came from what was considered, if you study theology, they say Peter was considered among the disciples as what you would term today as sycophant. Peter was a sycophant of Christ. He would go extremes. He would do anything to prove his commitment and his love and his relationship with Christ. But it's also said Peter was the least learned. Of course, he was the oldest. In his sycophancy, and of course, sycophancy is debatable. Everybody's a sycophant of something. Any office you stay for 5 hours without changing seats is sycophancy. You are a sycophant of the person you love. Anything you love, anything that takes your time, anything that tickles your passion and emotions, you are a sycophant. Anything you follow. So sycophancy is determined by who says it, for what reason. So Peter was one. And he said, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus said, that is revelation. And you know what, Peter? Your revelation has given you a script of your purpose and meaning. Ladies and gentlemen, if your age cannot be defined in one sentence, this is who I am, there is a question that needs to be addressed at a personal level.